YouTube channel. Today we're doing a Valentine's inspired makeup look, and I loved filming this today and I absolutely loved how it turned out, so I hope you do as well. Let me know if you do down in the comments below, and don't forget to give it a big thumbs up as well and subscribe. And if you want to see how we got this makeup look, then keep watching. I'm going to be doing a full face today because I don't feel like I've done that for ages now, so I'm going to start with eyes to switch it up a little bit. I'm going to be using the MAC Soft Ochre paint pot. And I have filled my brows in a little bit already. I'm going to go over them again once I've done my foundation and everything, so I've not set them yet. And then to set that in place, I'm going straight in with the eyeshadow palette that I'm using today. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette, which I use all the time, but it's got some really nice pinky shades in which I want to use today. So I'm going to first go in with Tempera to set the primer. And then to start with our crease colours, I'm going in with this one right here, which is Burnt Orange. And I'm just blending this all into the crease. I do want to use more of the pinky shades, but I feel like the more orange ones help blend them out a little bit. So that's why I'm going in with this one first. And I'm going to be doing winged liner today, which I feel like I haven't done that in ages either, so I'm going to be blending it out towards the brow, the end of the brow. Next, over the top of that, I'm going in with this more orangey toned one. And don't worry about being too neat in these outer edges because we haven't done any of the other makeup yet, so we can easily clean the edges up after. And then I'm going to take this clean buffing brush and a little bit of burnt orange again, and just use that to help buff out this edge at the top. Okay, now I'm going to start using a little bit of Love Letter, and I'm going to take this on the outer corner. And then blend it into the crease. And then you can just keep going in with that buffer brush and a mix of the first two shades and then just blend them in together. And it's definitely just all about the blending, so just keep adding little bits at a time and buffing them out. Just take your time making sure that they're all blended equally together. Now I'm just taking a little bit of Venetian Red, which is just a little bit darker than the pinky one we've just used, and I'm only using this just on this outer part of the lid. And I'm patting it on rather than rubbing it around so we can get the most pigment that's possible. I personally prefer to layer different shades because I think it gives a better effect in the end. Always looks a lot more smoky as well, the more different shades that you use. For the inner part of the lid, I'm going to use Vermeer, which is a really nice pinkish shimmery shade. I'm going to spray my brush with some setting spray, and this will make it really more metallic. And I'm just taking a flat brush and packing that on. And then then I'm taking this brush which we use to apply the pinkish shades, but it's got no extra product on there. I'm just going to use that to help blend these into together. Okay, now we're going to do our winged eyeliner. I'm using the same gel liner as I always use. It's the Maybelline Eye Studio Black Gel Liner. I'm taking that on this brush from Zoe. It's a 315 fine liner brush. And I always like to do this outer part first. So my eyeliner isn't cooperating amazingly today, but luckily we've not done the rest of our makeup yet, so I can just take a little wipe and use that to help sharpen up the edges. Okay, I'm going to leave the eyes there for now and move on to the rest of the face. So for foundation, I'm using the Make Up For Ever HD Stick Foundation. And I keep promising a review on this, but I still can't make my mind up whether I like it or not. I do really like the fact that it's in stick form, and I do like the coverage as well. But no, I'll still not move my mind on it, so when I do, I will get a review up. I'm using the shade Y245. And then I'm going to use my beauty blender to blend it all in. For concealer, I'm going to use two, and I've been really enjoying mixing these two together. First is the Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Custard, and the next is the Urban Decay Naked Concealer in the shade Light Warm. The Custard is more sort of the same colour as my foundation, so I use a little bit of this to make it a little bit lighter. I use mainly Custard. And then I'll just dab a few dots of this one. And again, just blending it out. I always leave my under eyes till last, because I feel like I get a little bit extra coverage if I just let it sit there for a minute. And then with this part, you just need to be careful you don't go over the wing. Now I'll set my under eye concealer first, because that's the place that always creases the first. So I'm just going to take some Laura Mercier translucent powder, and I only use a really small amount because my skin is quite dry, so I don't need a hell of a lot. And then I've been doing some cream contouring lately, so I've been using this LA Girl Pro Concealer in the shade Beautiful Bronze, and it does look a little bit scary when you first apply it, but it blends out really, really nicely. And I always do one side first before the other because it does set really quickly, so you do have to work fast with it. So I'll just apply it in those areas and then use my beauty blender to blend it out. Now that I've cream contoured and blended all that out, I can set the rest of the areas we concealed. I'm just taking some of the same powder on my beauty blender, and I'm just applying this to everywhere else we concealed. And I'm also taking some down here just to clean up my edges a little bit. And a little bit on the centre of my forehead, because I do get a little bit shiny there sometimes. Moving on to bronzer now, I'm using the Beach Bronzer from Urban Decay. And I'm just using that on a fluffy brush. And with a light hand, I just start to buff it over where we applied cream. I do usually prefer to set all my creams first before like I'll apply my bronzer or something, but my skin is so dry at the moment. I want to try and avoid using extra powder if possible. And then I'm also going in with some of this one from Milani as well. This is the Baked Bronzer in Glow. And then for highlight, I'm going to use this palette. This is the Essence Light Up Your Face Illuminizer palette. And I'm going to use the middle shade, I think. That is really, really nice. Like that. Okay, now let's finish off the rest of the eyes. I'm going in with the same palette and a pencil brush. And I'm going to use a mix of the first two shades. And I'm taking this all underneath. And then for eyeliner, I'm going to use a nude pencil today, just to make it a little bit different. This is the Rimmel Scandaleyes waterproof liner in the shade Nude. And then on a flat definer brush, I'm taking this shade right here, which is Red Ochre, and I'm going to try and get this as close to the lashes as I can. And then for mascara, I'm using the Revlon Dramatic Definition. But what's new, I use it all the time. I've just quickly gone over my brows again, and I've also applied my lashes. I've used the House of Lashes Iconics today. And then just to quickly finish the eyes, I'm taking some concealer on a flat brush. And I'm just going underneath my brow. And then I'm just going to take the shimmery shade we used on the lid and also use that as our inner corner highlight. And then finally for lips, I'm using MAC's Whirl Lip Liner. And then over the top, I'm going to take this lipstick from Rimmel, which is in the shade Salute. So that completes this Valentine's makeup look, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you did down in the comments below. And don't forget to give it a big thumbs up as well and subscribe. And I'll see you soon. Bye!